Elle Varner had a brief interview with Bossip recently that's pissing, well, intelligent people off. I guess some people think this is a fucking game or whatever and think that this is just a preference. So apparently, this dumbass either never heard of Black Lives Matter or just doesn't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure she just doesn't care. You know, she obviously has a very sick mentality. So the interviewer pretty much said, not verbatim here, I'm paraphrasing, but if you want to see the actual interview, visit my blog at the link below. You can see it for yourself. It's not very long. It's less than 2 minutes. It's like 1 minute and 58 seconds. Anyways, the interviewer, I don't even know her name, but what she said, not non-verbatim, was, quote, if you meet a guy and he's your type, he comes up to you and tries to talk to you, but he's a drug dealer. Do you date him or do you try to change him? Elle took a deep breath, had to look up to the sky. I guess the devil's in the fucking sky. And she had to really, really think about this one. She replied by saying, quote, I'm not gonna lie. It depends. The bad guys are the most fun, the most exciting. It's just true. I hate to say it. I'm a sucker for a bad boy. The interviewer then says, we're all marry doctors in our 30s anyway. Womp, 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 womp. Hated it. Crazy ass bitches. So let's review here. I'm going to start with Elle Varner first, then I'll end off with that stupid comment that the interviewer made. Actually, let me preface this first. Now, Elle Varner is fine as hell. And that's part of the reason why I had to make this video. In the past, I've made a lot of comments about Elle Varner, positive comments about what she looks like and all of the nasty shit I want to do to her. I'll, want to wrap her hair around my cock. All that nasty shit. All that crazy shit that I was saying in the comment section. And people were cracking up laughing and stuff like that. Okay. That's all well and good, right? On Vlad TV, I make comments and whatnot on the internet. So, she's a really pretty girl. And in fact, I was about to make a lighter the berry, the sweeter the juice video. If you don't know what that is, that's a series of videos that I make about light skin and mixed women, Latinas and shit like that. Where, the ongoing joke is that, light skinned women are just so beautiful. It's a joke, but I'm being serious. It's like a serious joke because I only use women that I really think are beautiful in the videos. However, I was going to post one about her, but after seeing this, maybe I shouldn't. But then again, I mean, who knows what's really going on in these stupid women's minds sometimes. She's definitely a Looney Tune. So I thought about it and I said, wow, I was trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to say in this video because I knew I wanted to quote her and I wanted to break down what she was saying and I wanted to break down these women's mentality and everything. And then, a lot of different thoughts came into my mind. I'm just going to have to make a separate video, a really long video where I take notes and really figure out what I want to say. But the gist of what I want to say is this. This shit is an ongoing problem. We have men that are growing up in rough neighborhoods who have to kill to survive. And guess who they're having to fight and kill? Fucking drug dealers, gang members, shit like that. People running around killing people for no other reason than pretty much for sport and to get bitches like Elle Varner. Now, these guys know that at the end of the day, when you grow up in a neighborhood with black and mixed bitches like Elle Varner, if you want to get yourself some pussy, what you do is you kill somebody or you get some money. Preferably both. And you can have all of the bitches to yourself. And everybody will be looking at you like, damn, how the fuck did he get all this shit? And you might say, well, they're exaggerating, Meat Magazine. What the fuck are you talking about? Is it really that bad? Tell you what, go live in one of those neighborhoods for a couple of months. You come back and tell me what the fuck you saw. And then you see the same black and mixed bitches from certain type of neighborhoods who all want to fuck the same guy. The murderer, the drug dealer, the guy who has the money, the guy who has the swag. As she pointed out, she's a sucker for bad boys. A sucker for them. She sucks them. She's a sucker for them. And it's funny because black women have said over the years exactly what they want in these songs. For example, Soldier by Destiny's Child. They talked about wanting a guy with street credibility. Somebody who's doing drugs, selling drugs or whatever, killing people, somebody who's in a gang, shit like that. They think that shit is cute, They'll sit up there and lie and say Black Lives Matter, throw up a hashtag on Twitter. These bitches don't give a fuck about black lives. The only thing they care about is themselves and their sick fetish for necrophilia. I said this recently and I'm going to keep on talking about it. Black women and mixed women have a necrophilia fetish. They want to fuck a corpse. They want to get stiffed by a stiff. Now, this shit sounds crazy as hell, but if you really, really think about it, they're trying to get these men killed, and then they talk about the guy in their death, you know, when they're gone and they're away and they're never fucking coming back, like as if they really, really care about this person, but they don't really care about that dead man. This shit is all entertaining to them. Because these bitches know at the end of the day that they have female privilege. People will come and try to save them. Mr. Simp over here will say, well, this is a damsel in distress. No, that's not a damsel in distress. That's a bitch with problems. And none of those problems are yours. So why are you trying to help her out? These women going to put themselves in positions where they'll go date a drug dealer, go date a gang member, etc., and then sit around when shit pops off, somebody start popping off guns and shit. Protect me, save me. No, bitch. You put yourself there so you can die with them. You know? People's children getting killed and all this other shit going on, and people were like, well, I blame these men who are out there shooting each other, but why the fuck are they shooting each other? You have women getting in between two men, starting trouble with them, sitting up there promoting fights, promoting gun battles with people, and then sitting back and salivating as they watch two men destroy each other. Sometimes even men in their own families. Ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, their current husband, whoever. They'll just go get another one. He's replaceable. Like Beyonce told you. Black bitches snitch on themselves all the time. You listen to their music, whether it's Soldier or Your Ass Is Replaceable. Or what's that song by the Capers? You know the group that Rashida was in? I'm going to pause this audio. I'm going to go look it up, make sure I get these lyrics correct. Because I remember this from back in the day. 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so Rashida from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was in a group called the Capers. And there was 3 girls in there. And I don't know what the name of the girl in the group who said this was. But essentially what she said in a song called Just For You, featuring Jermaine Dupri and Da Brat. You can look it up. Just For You by The Capers, DAKAPERZ. She said, not verbatim, but can't impress me with a foe if I'm pushing a 5. You gotta get your shit together, flip the cheddar, whatever, but you gotta bring a 6 or better. Now, if you don't know what the fuck she's talking about, what she's talking about is automobiles. If she's pushing or driving the 4, which is a type of automobile, I forget which one it is. I think it's a Mercedes or something. And if she has the 4, then you have to have the 6 to impress her, to have sex with her, to be with her, or whatever, to mate with her. You have to have a more materialistic, or rather more expensive car than what she has. You have to, quote, upgrade her, I guess. And this type of mentality even leaks over to broke black women who don't even have shit, and they think like this. They won't be bringing shit to the table, but want you to bring everything. You know, speaking of love and hip hop, Mama D, Little Scrappy's mother, who's ironically Rashida's friend, Little Scrappy's mother was just saying on an episode to, I think his name is Ernest, which is her ex-husband or whatever. She was letting him know, you know, you want to go proposing to me with this little cheap ring that you put in a drink for me to find, but you're going to have to do better than this, because I'm a queen. There's this queenly mentality among so-called black women. And it's really, really scary, because when you have a woman who's willing to do whatever she can to put you in a compromising position that could potentially get you hurt or killed, and then she turns around and says, worship me, you have a recipe for disaster, because the world says that the woman is the better half. Behind every good man is a great woman. And these women are not great. They're not anybody's better half. And, you know, I thought about making a video titled something to the effect of the black man is God and the black woman is the devil. And it sounds like a fucked up title when you hear it. But the gist of what I wanted to say was, people, so-called black men, are running around looking at these Caucasian men, and they're like, oh, you know, the white man, you got to watch out for him. Yeah, that may be true. The police are doing a lot of fucked up stuff. You know, the banks are screwing you over when it comes to loans. The school system is screwing you over. There's a lot of different institutions and whatnot that are doing whatever they can to harm you. But at the end of the day, these so-called black women are actually helping them. And you're sitting up there talking about the black woman is God. You know, so basically, these men are basically selling themselves short so that they can get a piece of ass, or at least get what they think is love from these women who don't give a shit about them. And, you know, Elle Varner's nasty mentality of bad guys are the most fun, the most exciting. It's just true. I hate to say it, I'm a sucker for a bad boy. It's just another layer to the problems. And, you know, at the end of the day, women like Elle Varner don't even care about the fact that people who are in the drug industry are massacring people. There's people being killed by the droves every single day because of people trafficking drugs. Whether the people are overdosing or the people are being shot dead, shot in the face. Whole families being murdered around the world. But does she care? Nope. She has a fetish. A fetish for fucking a murderer. And then the children of the drug addicts are sometimes beaten in the home. They're abused. They're raped. They're hungry. They're starving. They're disenfranchised. They're kept from society, basically from a civilized society, because they're living in hell in their homes and they have nothing. And it's hard for them to obtain things because they come from such a dysfunctional background. But does she care? No, because she wants to fuck a murderer. But of course, she's not the only one. This is so many other black women. What's that chick's name? Lauren London. She had an interview with King magazine a few years ago. Actually, several years back. I think it was like 08 or something like that. Maybe it was even 06. Anyway, she said, quote, and this is the type of man she wants, an authentic gangster. She said, and I quote, I love guys who are street. I won't even give a soft guy a chance. Menace to Society is my shit. Kane was like my first crush. Actually, Old Dog was my true dream guy. I was in love with him from the opening scene where he pops the convenience store worker. He had me from the gunshot. He was hood and I love that, end quote. Now, for the record, I'm going to do a separate video about this particular shit. I know it's old, but I'm going to bring it back. Basically, what she's saying is some scene from a movie where Lorenz Tate played some street guy who went into a store, got into an argument with a store owner, and murdered the man and his wife, is basically made her wet in so many words. Black women and gay men went out of their ways to defend these corny statements. And of course, Lauren London tried to backtrack and say, oh, well, you know, they did not word the questions the way that they said or whatever. But what she did not say was that she did not actually say this quote that was in the magazine. And we all know that she really said it because, of course, she went on to get pregnant by Lil Wayne, who says he's a blood. And now she's currently dating Nipsey Hussle, who's supposed to be a Crip. So at least the bitch is consistent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going to make a separate video about that, and it's not going to be nice. Anyway, at the end of the day, black women just don't value a decent man. And then we have women like Kenya Moore saying, there are no decent black men. We have to go get with a white man. No, you're just creating monsters because that's what you whores like. And that's just the God's honest truth. Straight up. I'm going to be frank about it. That's what you whores like. And it's disgusting. Because then there's these men who have to fight and kill to survive fighting these monsters that they create. But I don't have enough time to talk about that right now. I just wanted to add one more point before I go. To add insult to injury, to screw over black men just a little more. The interviewer said, and I quote, we'll all marry doctors in our 30s anyway. A lot of you won't get that joke because the doctors are drug dealers too. And their drugs are killing people too. Possibly more than the street drugs. So talk about a leopard never changing its spots. Interesting, isn't it? But I'll discuss that in detail another time. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. meetmagazine.com for more. Look out for my Lauren London video coming soon, and my other videos about black women exposing themselves for being one big fraud. Meet Magazine.